Harry, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, could the UK soon be faced with a US-style epidemic?
I would hope this would be unlikely. I mean, we've had warnings from the States already about fentanyl, which is not a tranquilizer, but is a synthetic opiate, which has also found its way into our market. Situation in America is very different. I think we tend to fall into the trap of thinking that anything like this that happens in America, is going to happen here. That said, it's obvious that the drug is present in our heroin supply chain. There's another synthetic opiate called nitazene, which is also in the system. So there are a number of different drugs like this and I'm not too sure about the expression zombie drug, but still, I mean, there are lots of drugs that you could attach that name to. The flesh-eating bit, well, when people inject, say, heroin that's got this drug in it, it can cause infections say in your arm, for instance, where you've injected. And that drug can kill off some of the cells around the site, and bits of the skin might kind of fall off. Whether you call that flesh eating or not, I'm not so sure. And I don't think it's particularly helpful to think of it like that. But it's certainly something that certainly drug treatment agencies would be concerned about.
Well, surely if it's a deadly drug, which it is, surely it's a good thing to make people scared of it and to warn them of the effects. Calling it flesh-eating or just saying that it's going to cause you lesions, either way, we should be encouraging people to stay away from the drug.
But except by and large, they wouldn't even know they're taking it. I mean, the people don't go out looking for a drug like this, or at least not in this country. What tends to happen is that it is mixed in with a drug they would normally buy, heroin primarily. So the reason we even know it's here, by and large, is because of post-mortem toxicology reports, where it's actually been discovered. So if you bought heroin on the streets, you wouldn't know that it had xylazine in it. Quite likely the person who sold it to you wouldn't know either.
Right, okay. So it's being mixed with drugs like heroin and cocaine. Is it only really hardcore drug users who are being affected rather than the wider public? Just because we were told that it's being put in counterfeit painkillers as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think by and large, you're looking at a problem drug using community. They are the main users of heroin, crack, and all of the sort of associated adulterants that go into those drugs. So yes, I wouldn't necessarily see this as a kind of wider threat to society any more than any of the other drugs.
Okay, but this is a drug that we're told can be used to tranquilize an elephant. So aside from the physical lesions you're going to get from taking it, what are the other side effects from this drug?
Well, overdose is the primary one. I mean, this drug is not licensed for human use at all because it's too strong. So the chances are when people talk about addiction to this drug, I think it's more likely that it's going to kill you. It's more likely that you're looking at overdoses rather than some long-term addiction to xylazine, because you probably wouldn't last that long.
Okay, and how do these drugs get into the country? Are these being brought in by vets, or is it just the illegal black market?
No, it's the illegal market. You'll get underground chemists who will essentially put stuff into drugs, whatever happens to be to hand. I think that the main concern around this drug and similar drugs that are being cut into our heroin supply is this could get worse if there was a heroin shortage caused by the fact that the Taliban seem to be quite successful at the moment of shutting down poppy cultivation in Afghanistan. Now, depending on how successful that is and how long it lasts, that could cause a heroin drought in this country. And if that happened, you're more likely to see drugs like this enter in the heroin drug using market, because also it's a chemical. You buy the chemicals, you make the drugs.
I'm so sorry, Harry. I'm going to have to cut you off, but thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much, Harry.